Hey everybody, it's Bret Savage here, and today I will be showing you how I created my 3D animation, my first ever 3D animation in fact. Um, what I planned to do with this project was to create a 3D animation in this application right here, known as Garry's Mod, and honestly, it did not turn out the way I thought it would. I mean, I'm not mad about the way it turned out or anything, but it just turned out a lot differently than what I thought it would. Let's break out of this prison right here. Garry's Mod is actually kind of a game, but it's also used to animate stuff, and liked I like what other people have done on here in terms of animating, and I decided to make an animation myself. So to demonstrate 3D animation in Garry's Mod, I am going to, for example, right here spawn a couch, make the place a little more homely. It's not really working out for me. Here we go. So yeah, couch is right there. Now I'm going to spawn a ragdoll, which is kind of a different kind of a prop, I guess you could say, in terms that you can animate its body parts and stuff. So right now this guy's kind of limp. I'm just gonna, for example, I'm just gonna drag him onto this couch right here and freeze him into place using this little physics gun I have here. And let's turn his head here. Just kind of freeze your body parts in place, because while you're animating you don't want them flopping around. And plus, while you're animating, they can do some pretty wacky things. Now, yeah, such as that. I'm going to bring up my timeline right down here by pressing M. You can actually set it to any key you want, but I just selected M because it's a pretty easy key to access. So right here you have these four options. You have record, save, load, and settings. And right now we're just going to mess with record, which if you right click on this guy, it's going to give a green outline. That means you're animating him. You can record, and he'll be in that same position. So for example, if I go to this keyframe right here, another frame, and I put his hand up like that, and I didn't hit record, it's just going to go back to that same position. See, I'm in that same frame, and it's going to stay in that same thing. However, if I put it in frame 17, as you can see right here, and I have it set to where I can bring both of his hands up, switch it up a little bit, and record, it's automatically going to move his hand for me. I might try to make this a little smoother though, because it's looking a little choppy. 65 per second, 200, there we go. Yeah, see, look, now that looks a little bit smoother. I'm playing back the animation by hitting N, and like I said before, it's the same thing with this key. You can set it to any other key, but I'm just going to keep it with N. And I can make him do a bunch of things. I can have him bring him up, and let's say his elbow's not cooperating here. So I'll just have him bring it out. Record, and I can have him bring him in like he's clapping or something. And record, and now we're going to have an animation of him bringing his arms up, and kind of clapping right there. Basically, for my project, I just did that process over and over again with different models and different props until I got the result I wanted. And I did look up a couple of YouTube tutorials, such as animations from a guy named Daspo, and just a couple of other little hints and tricks tutorials for Garry's Mod and animating Garry's Mod. So, without further ado, here is the results of my 4 weeks of hard work.
Ooh! You suck! What's the matter? Fat got your tongue? Ah! Ah!
So I guess the biggest thing that I learned from this project is that you can't go through, or go into it rather, without knowing what you're doing. Because had it not been for the tutorials I looked up and the hints I've gotten from, just kind of online resources, then I wouldn't know how to do half the things on here that I did in my project. And the little things that are mentioned in some of those resources, such as kind of smoothing frames and where you place your keyframes, which is an entirely different thing. I'll have to explain it in another video if I make one. It's little things like that that change an animation from a really bad one to a very smooth looking one. Just a huge jump in quality there. If I could redo my project, I would definitely make my animations a bit smoother, and I would definitely set it to 60 frames per second because mine was only at 30 frames per second and it looks pretty choppy, and I was not too happy about that. And I think the biggest successful moment in my project was actually getting it finished and piecing together the end result. And although it looks better in my head, it's probably a little funnier in my head, I think it turned out alright, and I am definitely not mad with the end result that I got. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you learned a thing or two about 3D animation, and hopefully I can continue making more 3D animations. So I will see you guys later.